Hi, and welcome to Volume 2, Episode 22 of The Talent Show, powered by TTEC. I'm your host today, Sierra Sanchez. Every other Thursday at noon Eastern, we focus on TTEC's most valuable asset, its talent. The people who bring the skills, the drive, and the life to TTEC. After all, people are at the heart of the TTEC human experience elevated. That being said, let's hear a little bit from everyone out there. Drop a message in the comments and let us know where you're tuning in from. We always have a very global audience, and it's super fun to see each week. Last episode when we featured our Greece team, we had a lot of people from Greece tuning in and from Bulgaria. I love the way everybody promotes it to their fellow teams to, join in and watch the live. This week at TTEC on social, just a little bit of heads up, we have some Halloween contests going on. So if you check your regional pages. If you have a fun costume or you're dressing up for the office, make sure to check out how you can post and submit your pictures. And also, we do have, this week, we're rounding out Global Diversity Month. And we have a very fun global diversity playlist that's featured on our Facebook pages as well. And that'd be really fun to play for your Friday. So, it looks like we have Texas in the house. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Let's see, who else? Don't be shy. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And also, in case you haven't noticed, we have some really fun employee referral program Halloween promos circulating. So if you notice those, make sure you submit. Anyways, today we're talking, hello from Brazil. I want to shout that out too. Today we're talking about how diversity is at the center of what makes our global company culture so dynamic, special, and celebrated. So, having started her career at TTEC over 20 years ago in 1998, it's safe to say our guest today has truly left her mark on our organization in many, many ways. Being it's sitting at the helm of our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion branch, otherwise known as DE&I, or as a founding member of our Women in Leadership organization. We are very happy to have her on the Talent Show to share why these entities hold a special spot both in her heart and in our companies. Colleen Ritchie, Service Vice President of Operations, welcome to the TTEC Talent Show. Our Senior Vice President. Hi, Colleen.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great, well, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, just for starters, you've had such a 10-year career at TTEC. It's very impressive how you've been able to kind of dip your toes in a lot of different departments. And now you, as the Senior Vice President of Operations, you're able to influence in so many ways with our DE&I committee and the Women in Leadership. So I guess tell us about some of the highlights both of your career and accomplishments of those councils.
Absolutely. So you're right. I have been very lucky here at TTEC to have been able to try a lot of things. And I think we have a very entrepreneurial spirit as a company. And I think that's why when you talk to a lot of the people in our organization, you'll see that we have a lot of tenure. And the reason is every day we're not doing the same old thing over and over again. The company really does enable people to try different things, try different areas of the business, and push themselves every single day to learn something new and do something new. And I've certainly been able to enjoy that in my career, doing everything from running operations to operations support, facilities, project launch. And so now my job as operations support senior vice president, I really have the ability to look across all of our support organizations, understand how they come together. And that's been very satisfying to really be able to look at the big picture. And I think my teams make an impact every single day, whether it's managing the efforts of our response to the pandemic, or to working through, challenging business problems, as now the new normal is a little bit not normal, whether that be a hybrid model, or brick and mortar, or at home, and we're constantly able to kind of change what we're, our processes and our procedures to kind of meet our people where they're at. And so that's been very, very satisfying. And I think about 6 years ago or more, I was able to work with my boss at the time, our COO, and ask, hey, as I'm getting older, I have a daughter entering the workforce as an engineer. I think there's, so much has changed since I started my career, but I wanted to make sure that we had different forums in place to enable and empower women in our organization. And so 6 years ago to now, the Women in Leadership organization has grown. We have chapters or groups in every one of our countries, and they, do a lot of different things, mentoring, having in guest speakers, etc. So it's been quite a journey, and it's very fulfilling to see that. And so last year, when our CFO, Regina, and our executive committee asked if I would champion the Diversity and Equity and Inclusion Council for TTEC, I absolutely jumped on it. And so what we've done so far is we've really kind of created a vision and a mission. And our mission is to kind of intentionally build and leverage our diverse workforce to make sure that we create a culture where differences are really exploited. Our differences are our true differentiators. So leveraging those differences to drive innovation, drive growth, empower meaningful communications and connections with our employees, with our clients, and within our communities. So it's very important that we put the diverse workforce and the fabric of our company and our people together as a differentiator for us. So embracing the differences and really leveraging those to our advantage and making everybody feel very welcomed. And so, we're really proud of what we've kind of created. We have a foundation that we've created, and, this year it's really taken off. And so we have representation from every division, every sexual orientation, every, race, ethnic background, and it's just been fantastic.
That's amazing. And I can say personally, like with my team being involved in and joining those meetings, I think it's the effort that goes into making sure we're able to celebrate each, all sorts of diversity, and put that out there, like externally, internally, just foster kind of that community aspect of it. It's very like a warm feeling. Like I've never been in a company that really truly celebrates it and makes like the solid effort to. Not to mention a couple other things you touched on, like the Women in Leadership group. I attended one of the meetings last week, and I loved how, and this was for the US chapter, but I loved how there wasn't really, the topic was something that was super relatable. It was how to be a better leader, or how to be a better communicator. And I loved that there were other women in our organization, all different levels, sharing kind of example stories, because that's something we can all relate to. And that's something like you want a group or a community that you can go to, that, okay, you felt that too, or I feel seen, thank you, what can we do, like how can I help you? Like that's what ultimately makes us better, I feel like. So
yeah, absolutely.
Why, that being said too, and having yourself been at all different levels of our organization, why do you think it is so important to have diversity at all levels of this organization of TTEC?
Yeah, I mean, I think one is diversity, having a diverse team. And I've experienced this, that my direct reports are very diverse. I think the Diversity Council is very diverse. Frankly, having diversity and having multiple different perspectives enable you to make better business decisions. It enables you to kind of look across and around and not just have your personal bias or what you've done in the past lead your next steps. It really enables, frankly, a rich and a much greater understanding of what's happening. And so hopefully you're able to grow and innovate in a much more meaningful way because you're able to take everyone's different life experiences, perspectives, thought process that may be different from yours, but enables you to come up with better solutions. So one, I think having diversity, frankly, is a good strategic business decision because you're able to innovate and grow a lot better. Secondly, I think it's really important to demonstrate diversity at all levels of the organization. And in a minute, I'll talk about what the Diversity Council's goals are for the future. But, you know, it's important for others to see people that they, you know, can kind of relate to. When I first started my career, I was one of the only women at the table. And now I'm not. And so it's really important that you can kind of see yourself in executive leadership positions. You know, we just hired our first Black woman on our board of directors. And that's a really big deal to the Black leaders in our company. It's demonstrating that sky's the limit. You know, you see people like you in roles that you may be wanting to achieve. And I think having employee resource groups for whether it's the Champion of Colors who really focuses for our Black community or women in leadership enables people to have a community, see people like them, understand that they're not alone in their challenges, get feedback and help from other people like them as well, and to be heard and seen. And I think it's really, really important to the company's success because companies with diversity do better. And there's statistic after statistic on that topic. And so, you know, it's important for us for a lot of reasons.
Yes, I can say, like, it's what I've noticed too is understanding how different cultures, regions, countries, how they interact with, for example, like our platforms or even on LinkedIn and in the comments, like who's able to join and what kind of insight they're bringing to the table. And so with that being said, I want to open it up to the audience. You guys can you can comment and let us know, how has diversity at TTEC brought a new perspective to your work? Do you have like a special story that happened, or how has it broadened your horizons or made you like have a light bulb moment? So I'll let you guys go ahead and answer that in the comments. And Colleen, another question for you, and you kind of teed it up for us, is looking at the forward vision of TTEC, how will we drive into the future with diversity, equity, and inclusion as a pillar?
Well, we as the council have, you know, surveyed our employees to come up with what was the things that they felt really mattered. And we broke our vision into really 3 different focus areas. The first being awareness and education. The second being talent attraction and growth. And the third being kind of strategy. And so the first, under awareness and education, I think is really critical because people need to have better awareness on why diversity matters, why it's important, and how they can do in their day-to-day job things to drive diversity just within their own groups. So we have a speaker series. We've created a very robust ethnic holiday calendar so that we're constantly giving people information about other people's cultures, religions, beliefs. So that's very important. So making sure that we're educating our teams. And we also have a series of bots that can help people have kind of different conversations or difficult conversations as it relates to race or sexual orientation. And so just arming our people with, tools to ensure that they're moving forward in the right direction as it relates to diversity. Then we have a group really focused on how are we going to attract more diverse talent externally by, creating different partnerships, changing kind of our job code, our job descriptions, as well as creating a career path model for our high potential diverse internal talent as well. So we really want to go at that in two different ways. And then, when I talk about strategy, and I think this is really, really important, and it's important all the way from Ken Tuckman on down to every manager in our company, it's really driving accountability. So matching our policies to our values, creating goals and metrics around diversity. So, what percent of diverse talent do we have in different leadership positions today? And what are we looking to seek to get to in the future? What's best in class? As well as creating a more ERG groups. So I mentioned champions of color. I mentioned women in leadership. We're hoping to have an LGBTQ plus group start out. And the reason that employee resource groups are so important, and I'm very excited about having more, because we want to leverage their thoughts and perspectives to make sure that we are doing the right thing. One of our big goals one of our company values is do the right thing. And, oftentimes you don't know what you don't know. There's that Maya Angelou quote that says, when you know better, you do better. And that's really one of the things that we're going to try to leverage from the employee resource groups, which is what makes sense. What are we doing that maybe isn't in the spirit of diversity or isn't pulling everybody in your kind of group up? What can we do differently? What do we need to do more of? How can we support? How can we help? And having those resource groups have a direct line of communication to us is super important. So that's really our big goals for the future, so that we can keep driving diversity and inclusion and equity in everything that we do.
Yes, and if you take a look at the comments, you will see how much that is valued. And see, I can't even read them all because they're like testimonies in and of themselves, like paragraphs.
Wow, so, that's awesome.
Yes,
I didn't know how to do it, but
I will show you. But it's quite, just so you know, it is very much these resource groups and diversity in and of itself. Like whether it's someone saying like, I walked into a meeting or a group or a team and there was other people like me, or there weren't people like me and I learned something from them. And just I can't even read them. There's so many great little stories here. So everybody, please go ahead, read the comments, like and it's just such a testament to the work that you are doing and that it's working and that people are feeling it and they're feeling really great about it. So I just want to say thank you for joining us today, Colleen. Your commitment to creating these environments that encourage us to embrace each other's cultures and diversity is the key to ensuring the TTEC human experience is thriving.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited about what's yet to come.
Thank you for being here. And if you would like to find a fulfilling career with fresh perspectives at TTEC, let's take a look at some of these hot jobs on ttecjobs.com. So just so you know, TTEC Jobs is going to be the hub of where you can find your next dream career. Just search right here if you're interested in marketing, customer service, maybe pop in a region you're in and it'll take you right there. Our first featured job is going to be the Vice President of Sales Executive, Healthcare Pharmaceutical Division. So you'll be going to market with outsourced services that deliver amazing customer experiences through operational and technology excellence, supporting all stages of the sales process, and acting as a steward for good business and growth of the client relationship by ensuring flawless execution. We're looking for somebody who has 10 plus years experience in an outsourcing sales environment, BPO, ITO, with experience in outsourced back office customer care services or fraud prevention and detection solutions. Experience selling in the pharmaceutical market is great as well. We also, another hot job for you is a bilingual healthcare customer service representative that speaks English and Spanish. Do you have a passion for helping others and giving them peace of mind? By answering incoming communications from customers and conducting research to provide answers for customers to resolve their issues, you'll be the difference between their customer service experience being just average or an exceptional one. We're looking for someone who is bilingual in English and Spanish, has 6 months or more of customer service experience, and a high school diploma. It'd be great if you're computer savvy and have high speed internet as well. And you can find both these roles and more here on ttechjobs.com. And that's it for our show. I hope you enjoyed the talent show powered by TTEC because TTEC is powered by our talent. I want to take a moment to thank Colleen again, as well as everyone who works to make this show possible. And of course, everyone who came out to spend a little time with us today. We'll see you in 2 weeks on November 11th.